Good morning, students. Let's begin our next topic of the chapter 6, that is life processes. So, today's topic is transportation. Now, transportation is a simple process to carry things from one place to the another. In terms of biology, we can say that movement of the food or the important nutrients, that is water, oxygen, and hormones, many other things like salts and minerals from one part of the body to the other part of the body. So transportation takes place in animals like human beings and plants as well. So this topic is into two parts, that is transportation in plants and transportation in humans. I have made two separate video of both because I wanted to reduce the size of the video, because I've heard a lot of complaints that the videos are sometimes long. Students do want to study, but they're not able to download or to open the video because of the length, because of the slow network congestion also. So we'll be starting the topic with our transportation in plants. Since we all know that plants cannot move from one place to the another, so they don't require much energy as in the case of the human beings, but still they require the energy to fulfill their growth and all. So transportation in plants generally takes place in two types, or into two systems. We can say that it is xylem and phloem. So firstly, we can just have a read of this definition. This is not very difficult. It is a simple thing. It is a life process in which a substance is absorbed in one part of the body of an organism and is carried to the other part of the body. Now there are two types of plant transportation, that is xylem and phloem. In the case of xylem, we can also call it ascent of sap. That means the xylem are the tissues which carry water from the roots to the different part of the plant body, from the roots to the shoot. Along with the water, they will also carry ions, minerals, salts with the water. So they are called as ascent of sap, because in the xylem the water is moved in a unidirectional upward position, like the water will only move in the upward direction, so from the roots to the shoot only, and the xylem tissues will carry water and minerals. Next is phloem. Phloem is also called as, the process is called as translocation. Phloem are also tissues which are made up of four types of cell, and phloem carry the food materials which plants leaf make to the different part of the plant body. Now xylem tissues and phloem tissues we will be learning in detail. Before that, I just want to give you a little view of this. Since we all know that the plants are of different length or different distance, the plants which are of a shorter distance, it is very easy for them to carry water from one place to the another. But in the taller plants, this is not very easy, because they have a long distance from the roots to the shoot. They have a woody stem and a very hard trunk, so the movement of the water is a bit slow, but they don't need much energy, so they can wait for a longer time. In the case of a shorter plant, the movement of the water is simply by the help of diffusion. In the diffusion, the water will be absorbed in the roots, in the roots, and it is transferred from the roots to the different part of the plant body by the diffusion. But diffusion is not sufficient for the taller and the bigger plants, because all the energy will be used up in the in the movement of the water, and they need a proper system for that. So in this, like, there are plants, so here the roots have some tiny hairs in them. They will absorb the water, and the water will move in the upward direction, only in the upward direction, not in the downward direction. So it's a unidirectional system. Along with the water, there will be minerals also. In the case of phloem or translocation, the food is made in the leaf and it moves down from the leaves to the roots, because roots also need food, and from the leaf in the upward direction to the shoot or to the different part of the plant body. So that this is a phloem system which carry food. Food in the case of glucose, sugar, and xylem carry the water and minerals. Now xylem have xylem have four types of cells. In that, only one type of cell is living. Rest the three cells are non-living. Xylem parenchyma are living cells, whereas xylem fibers, xylem vessels, and xylem tracheids are non-living cells. So now xylem vessels and tracheids are very important in this, because xylem vessels are like a drain pipe for the plants. They are hollow pipes because they don't have any cytoplasm between. They are, these are very strong vessels, because they are made up of lignin. Lignin are the strong cement-like material which is formed in the collenchyma and parenchyma. And sclerenchyma cells, they have some gaps in the end of the cell walls, and they have thin pits in this. So the lignin is very helpful. It helps these vessels to stand still, so that water can be moved up easily. Along with this, there are tracheids. So tracheids are long spindle shape. They have ends. These are having open ends, but they are having closed ends, and they have a lot of pits in this. Now these pits are not be confused with the pores. The pits are the thin area of the cell wall where the lignin is deposited. So they have unthickened cellulose cell, and they are specially found. These tracheids are specially used in in the flowering plants, in the non-flowering plants. Xylem vessels are used in the flowering plants, and tracheids are used in the non-flowering plants. So mechanism, how this happens, how this all works, simply it is a mechanism of transportation of water. Okay, like this. When the water is absorbed by the roots, when the water absorbs, the roots absorbs the water. How does the root absorb the water? Now roots have tiny hairs in them. These tiny hairs have, soil will be having some ions. Okay, now when the soil have ions in them, the water concentration in the soil becomes high, because root takes all the ions in them. To balance this ions and water difference, the roots will absorb the water because of the osmosis. Now osmosis is the process of movement of the water from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Since the soil have the higher concentration of the water and lower concentration of the iron, so the water will move from the soil to the roots. So this happens to eliminate the difference in the roots and the soil, difference of the water. So since the water will enter the root, now this will move up. Okay, so but this upward movement will also not very helpful, because there they need some more things, like they need a help of the transpiration. Now transpiration is a process in which from the stomata, the leaves can have stomata, so the stomata will release the water in the form of vapors from the leaf during the daytime. When the water will be released from the leaf, it will create a suction pressure, because the pores will be empty because of the water, and these are the tubes, hollow tubes. These xylem tubes will go all through the plant body along to the leaves as well. So because they are hollow and the water is here in the halfway, and this will create a suction, so it will suck the water, and it will pull the water to the xylem cells in the upward direction from the root. This loss of the vapors of the water from the plant is known as transpiration. We all know that. So the transpiration will help in the absorption of the water, or it will help in the movement of the water in the upward direction, which have dissolved minerals in it. So it also helps in the temperature regulation. It is like working like a phenomena. Whenever we drink any cold drink from any straw, what happens when we suck the liquid or the cold drink in the upward direction, we reduce the pressure on the top of the straw. You would have seen we reduce the pressure on top, and in the bottom of the straw the pressure is very high. So since the pressure is high in the bottom of the straw, and in the upward end of the straw the pressure is low, so the water will be moving from the higher pressure to the lower pressure region, and this is how it works. The water will move in the upward direction. So this is a simple mechanism of the xylem. Okay, you can also read here, at roots the cell in the contact with soil actively takes up the ions. This creates a difference in the concentration of these ions, because the root and the soil and the water moves into the root from the soil. to eliminate the difference, and the water is steadily pushed upward. But this pressure is not enough to move over the height, so they use transpiration. It is the evaporation of water from the leaves, and this continuous evaporation of water from the cell leaves create a kind of a suction pressure which pulls up the water through the xylem cells. So this is the transportation of water. Now, transportation of food. Transportation of food is called as translocation. In the case of translocation, the food is moved in the different direction from the leaves. Leaves makes food by the process of photosynthesis, and this is done by the phloem tissue. Phloem tissue are also 4 types of cells. In these 4 types of cells, 3 cells are living and 1 cell is dead. That is sieve tube, companion cells, and phloem parenchymas are the living cells, but phloem fiber is dead. So the main function of these, phloem parenchyma will just store the food. Okay, it will just store the food for the future use. Sieve tube and companion cells will be responsible for this movement of the food or the translocation of the food. So the movement of food in phloem can be upward or in the downward direction depending upon the need of the plant. What does the plant need? And mechanism is very simple. It is like that. So here is a diagrammatic representation of the phloem tissues, which contain sieve tubes and companion cells. Since there are 4 types of phloem, but the main in this function is sieve tube and companion cells. The other one is xylem vessels, which you know are dead cells, and the other is phloem parenchyma, which will store the food. But in the case of transportation, in the case of food, we call it translocation. Here is the sieve tube, which is full of cytoplasm, but they don't have any nucleus. Just adjacent to the sieve tube are companion cells which have nucleus in them. Here you can see they are the end walls of the sieve tube, which are called as sieve plates, and these sieve plates have some space which allows the food to pass through it. So here also there will be some gaps which which are called as sieve plates, which have some gaps which will allow the or a small holes which allows the food to pass through them. Now we know that the phloems are living cells, so they will carry the food. So food is made in the leaves by the help of photosynthesis, and the food is being required from all the part of the plant body, be it root or be it flower or fruit or any growing plant part of the plant. So it has to be transported in the upward direction as well in the lower direction, that is roots. So once the food is made, the phloem tubes in the leaves will carry or transport the food to all the part of the plant by a network of the phloem tubes which are present in the plant, or to the stems or to the leaves. Okay, so all this translocation is done. All the process of carrying the food from the leaf to the different part of the plant is called as translocation. And to do this, they require some energy, because the movement of the food in the phloem will take place only when there will be energy, and energy it will be in the form of ATP. Now after this, the phloem will be using the energy in the form of ATP. Then the water will enter into the sieve tube which contains sugar, and this will be happen by the process of osmosis, and due to this the pressure in the phloem tissue rises up. When the pressure in the phloem tissues rises, this creates a high pressure and the low pressure. So the high pressure is produced in the phloem tissue, which makes the food move to the part of the plant which are having lesser pressure. If you remember, when we suck the cold drink from the straw, we create a lower pressure in our mouth, and the higher pressure is created in the cold drink's bottom of the container. So same process happens. The phloem tissues will create a high pressure, and they will where there is no food, it will be creating lesser pressure. So because of the pressure difference, the food will be moving from the higher pressure to the lower pressure region, and which allows the phloem to transport the food to the plant or to the different part of the plant where it is required. Now you have to you have to think about that phloem is only moved to the part of the plant where the food is required. That means it will not move to all the part of the plants where it is necessary for the plant to have food. Only to that part the food is transported, because you would have seen in the winter season the plants do not some plants or the plants shed their leaves, they don't make food, so they just store their food for the longer time. And when the spring season comes, what happens, the food which is stored in the root or in the stem is moved to the, or it's transported to the different part of the plant by this difference, or by this difference, like from the higher pressure to the lower pressure region. So it helps the buds to grow into flowers or into food. So this is how it all works. This was your transportation in plants, which is completed. So next we'll be taking transportation in humans. Along with that, I'll be teaching you excretion. So next video will be a little long video. Since I've told you I'll try to make shorter videos, but I will try to make it short for you people, so that or concise, so that you can learn, understand the main points. You can also, you have to just read your NCERT books line by line. It will be very helpful for you, and you have to do your question answers, which I will be giving you. They are very important for you to do, because they will be helping you in marking your present in the school, which is very, very important. So till then, please study hard and stay well. Thank you.